What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today we're going to be talking about the books that I read in the month of June and the main pen and ink that I used for that month as well. If you have not yet watched last month, please do. I read 6 books that month. I got pretty heavy into it. But this month is pretty short. I only read 1 book, and that was Stillness Is the Key by Ryan Holiday. It came in a box set of 3 books, Ego is the Enemy and Obstacle is the Way, that I read the first 2 last month, so that's part of the 6. And then I finished it off with Stillness Is the Key. So stillness. All the philosophies of the ancient world, from the Stoics to the Buddhists to the Confucians to the Christians, spoke of it as the most powerful force on earth. It is the ability to slow things down, to clarify your thinking, to center your soul, to direct your efforts, to be steady while the world spins. Stillness is the secret to elite performance, to leadership and creativity. It is the peace that makes room for happiness. It is the key to everything that matters. The question is, how can you find it, and what would be possible if you did? So just like the other 2, it goes over a lot of examples of past and current famous people, political figures, people that you've probably known. Gives you a very brief history of who they are and how they've used the idea of stillness to positively influence their life. That sometimes has impacts to the world as a whole. So basically, how do you take a break from the whole freaking world? Being able to find your stillness, your moment where you can turn everything off, turn off the crazy spinning everything, and just breathe, be you, is the key, really. It's how you get mental clarity for a lot. So for me, in order to find stillness, it doesn't necessarily mean being still and just being... No. For me, it's not meditation. I can't. I've tried countless times to get into meditation. I just cannot give way to that. I try and I continue to try. Every few months, I think, I'm going to really give it a crack now. I do it for about a month or so, and I just can't. For me, in order to find stillness, I like to go for long walks, listen to podcasts, get out of my head, essentially. I really like Ryan Holiday's podcast. I also really like Mayim Bialik's podcast. I like the fact that Ryan Holiday talks a lot about philosophy, stoicism. Obviously, I'm reading his book. Mayim Bialik's is a lot about mental health, where she will interview celebrities, famous people, big people, essentially. I don't know how to sum that up. And talk about like a lot of mental health and things like that. And it's just fascinating. I mean, she's a neuroscientist, for crying out loud. So I like to listen to those podcasts when I go for long walks. And when I say long walks, I mean like several hours. I'll go for like 2 hours and just put them in and zone out. And that's the whole point of Stillness Is the Key. When you can get out of your head, de-stress, you come back, you feel a little bit more rejuvenated. That's really the whole point of it. So I recommend it. Between the 3 books, it's probably the one that I liked the most. It was also the 3rd that I read, so I was able to read it a lot faster, just because he writes in the very same style. And so I was pretty used to it at that point. But I do recommend it. His books are not difficult to read. They're written in a very conversational style. If you've watched any of his YouTube videos, basically his YouTube style, the way that he speaks in those videos, is exactly the way that you'll read the book. So I do recommend. So what pen and ink did I use for this month? For the month of June, the pen that I used most often was this Caveco Sport. This is the latest Galen Leather Special Edition, the purple one, clearly, with gold trim. I got it with a oblique medium nib, and by oblique medium, I mean oblique broad. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's on a slight upward grind. Anyone who knows me knows that I am obsessed with Caveco Sport pens. I've done a full review of this one and many others. If you watched last month's, you know I had a bit of a problem with ink. So I've been using this one pretty much, and I used it with Robert Oster Hippo Purple. I did have a full bottle of it, but I actually gave most of it away and kept just this full sample vial for myself because I was not using it very often. And somebody I know was lusting after it. It was an exclusive. You cannot buy this color. So I am going to tease you a little bit. If you like it, you can't really buy it. So I actually gave it away. But I wanted to keep a little bit just in case I ever got the urge to use it. It's a dusty purple. So, yeah, so that's why it's in this vial with just sort of base writing on it. Not a perfect match with this pen, clearly, because this is a vibrant purple, whereas this is certainly not. It's appearing a little more red on camera, just like the other two that I used, and I now realize I had 3 months in a row where I used almost identical colored inks, and I did not plan it that way. It just kind of happened. But yeah, you'll have to check out my other months if you want to know what colors these are. Plug. But I like the oblique broad. I have done a full writing sample of it. Like I mentioned in April and my May videos, I will start doing actual writing samples come September. I'm playing catch up right now with this series, so I don't really want to re-ink the pens, only to have to clean them out immediately. But come September, when I'm actually filming these, you'll actually get a swab and a writing sample to see the ink a little bit better. But this is what I used for the most part this month. I love these pens, and